How do you protect your own marriage? Is there anything specific that you guys draw a boundary around your marriage, the vision that God has given you, so that the marriage stays healthy and protected?
Absolutely. In fact, I'd like to start with that. We had an opportunity to meet with a couple by the name of Clint and Penny when we were just really kind of getting started with this, and we met them in halfway over in Orlando, and they said to us over dinner one night, "You got to take care of yourself. You're in this. You got to take time off before to get yourself ready. You got to take time off afterwards to get yourself refreshed." And boy, have we learned that lesson well. And we often will say, "You remember what we were told." And so that's vital important, because we only do weekend intensives a couple of a month, and it's because we would completely burn out if we did one every weekend. And so we've taken that advice that we got from you folks and have said that's the kind of boundary we need so we can continue to do it.
Yes, that is true. They taught us how to put boundaries around the intense time of ministry that we have, and we took that to heart. We really paid attention to what you guys shared with us. Not only that, but you also recommended in your book, Marriage on the Mend, the mini marriage retreat, which David and I implemented in our own marriage. And that has made all the difference to help us stay in balance, to keep the balance in the 7 different areas. We never ask couples to do anything that we haven't tried ourselves first. And so knowing how much that mini marriage retreat pays off, we now challenge every one of our couples to have that mini marriage retreat once a quarter to keep themselves focused on the vision that God has for their marriage.
In our case, we have found this neat little place over in Vero Beach where we like to do our mini marriage retreat, and It's a lot of fun, but it's also our time to sit down and say, it's time for us to reflect and see where we're going.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
In order to get couples to take a mini marriage retreat, you said there are 2 things you help couples with. What are those 2 things?
Well, Clint was saying that sometimes the mini marriage retreat is difficult because there are courageous conversations that need to take place. And that is true. And 2 components that help facilitate the positivity of the mini marriage retreat is the number 1, make sure they are communicating well. We teach them how to have those courageous conversations or being able to open up their hearts on a vulnerable level without judgment from the other person. The second component
is ability to be able to resolve conflict. And most everybody that we deal with, every couple in there, they have no idea how to. Because I typically say to them, "How do you folks resolve conflict?" And they say, "We don't. We just wait for one of us to get quiet, then we keep going on with our life, and eventually it all comes down around our ears because one of us explodes." And so that's one of the big things is not only communications, but how you resolve conflict as you go into dealing with issues.
When we dwell with understanding, communicate on a healthy manner, those mini marriage retreats become very valuable for couples in setting goals and establishing a vision for their marriage.